call her? Better, nigga. You think I should call her? Better, nigga. I should call her. When I call her, I'll be like, hey. Should be like, darling.
What up? It's your boy T-Bird here. Reaction. Today is Music Monday. This week's Music Monday dedicated to late great DJ Kay-Slay. We sadly lost this past weekend though, RIP. So I thought I was gonna cap it off with Dope Example, but I thought this would be a good one after watching that Dope Examples of Samples video part 5. I thought it was a good video from here. Shout out to, let me do the channel because he shouted me out for reacting to it though. Back to the boom bap though. I think either him or somebody associated with it. Either way, shout me out for reacting to one of their videos about this though. I did one about Ninth Wonder. I think the same video. So this one is called Mike Wonder Says Sampling is Hard and Hear Why. This will be a good thing to react to because me myself, I admit it, it's hard. I done went through track lists plenty of times, and like out of the many track list songs I didn't grab or anything, out of like only successful with maybe like 3 or 4 and possibly 5, and then I'm trying new samples. Now I'm trying new songs with like I'm actually sampling directly to my beautiful MPC over there, right there. It went through the sampler and everything. I think I did came up with something good. I wanted them. Oh yeah, the curry joint. Hold on. Let me throw that. The curry joint, and I didn't do the sweet and red, but the curry joint is out of the first one I came out somewhat successful or anything. So I'm leaving it as a demo in case I need to do some rework to it though. I'll let y'all hear it. I'm gonna skip through it. Let's get through the different sequence though. Alright, I'm gonna leave off that. But yeah, it sounds pretty cool, though. I feel like I still need to do some work to it, though. Possibly some my bad. I'm trying to get my camera straight after moving around and everything. I got it kind of rigged it a little bit so I can work my light. Here we go. Work for me, camera. Okay, hold on. Work with me, camera. Hold on. And I'm going to pause it real quick. All right, I'm back. Had to work with the camera. Gonna be a little awkward, but anyway, you get the best of it. There we go. Come on, I had it. Okay, I'm back. Can't find camera somewhat better. Anyway, so yeah, sampling can be hard though, cause I got a couple of songs I grab the samples of, and I'm trying to figure it out, but I can't think of a drum beat or a best drum beat to go with it, or how to cut it up or anything. So let's look to this video with Ninth Wonder on why sampling is hard. Let's get it, and make sure I get the radio right. Here we go.
In a previous video, I played clips of Ninth Wonder saying that sampling is hard.
It's hard. It's hard. Sampling is hard.
That video got a ton of comments, where some of you agree and some of you disagree with him. I have 3 reasons why I agree with him, but before I explain those, I'll play you a clip of Ninth Wonder giving his view on this topic.
And to be honest with you, a lot of the reasons why a lot of cats won't sample, they like to use the whole publishing bit and say, I want all my publishing. That's fair, I understand that. But to be honest with you, if you playing the keyboard and you really can't play, if you just, like, any cat will tell you, it's harder to take a record and make it your own.
What's up, y'all? My name is MoNev360, and you're watching Back to the Boom Bap, a channel about documenting the beat-making process of legendary hip-hop producers. If this interests you, click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Ninth Wonder really strikes me as someone who is highly bothered by the anti-sampling crowd. And rightfully so, because some people think that just because they don't sample, it automatically legitimizes them as musicians. And of course, Some of them like to dismiss sampling as uncreative.
Glad I did watch this, man. Like, then you just pretty much said that majority of 90s hip hop was uncreative. Then, if you said that shit, I'm gonna say what you just said. 90% of 90s hip hop was uncreative because a lot of 90s hip hop was fire due to their samples, whether it's sample vocals, sample instruments, or most importantly, the drums. A lot of drums on your freaking 90s joints were samples of drum beats that they looped and everything, or they manipulated though. So for somebody to say that sampling is not creative, just shitting on the whole 90s hip hop genre and most of 80s as well too, and current ones as well too, but majority of the 90s right there. But let's keep going.
Let's hear what else Knife Wonder has to say about this topic.
You didn't come up with the tone for C. Somebody said this is a C.
Right. I want us to do this.
This is a D, and I'm going to tune this piano to call it a D. You didn't make that sound.
Right. Yeah.
It is manufactured for you.
Fact.
So your manufactured D is the same thing as my drum pad.
Thank you. Not to mention, like, for those who are getting the producing, your stuff you're buying off you get off of BPM, Create, Splice, Sounds, your drum pads that's playing on your factory drum pads, all that are samples of actual musicians as well too. So pretty much you're uncreative too, because you didn't make the shit either. Unless you literally play a piano on your shit, you're not creative either. If you're using manufacture, I can't think of the word right now. Stock. If you're using stock sounds on your sampler, your programs and all that, you're pretty much using samples as well too, because it's not yours. It's sounds that's been driven from actual people, actual instrument musicians and stuff like that as well too. So with the fact you want to shit on folks for using sample because you're using stock sounds or sounds you bought and all that from a thing, you're still using samples. But let's keep going.
So we're all playing something.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So what's live and what's not?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't make the piano, bro. You didn't make the saxophone.
Yes.
I used to get in arguments with keyboard producers all the time. I'm playing keys. No, you ain't. Tink. Ain't playing no keys, bro.
He said tink. He said tink. Ain't play no key. But it's facts though. It's facts.
Tink.
Oh, quote that.
It's just not.
Quote
like
that.
you're not gonna say you ain't playing no chords.
Yeah.
You're not doing this and understand majors and minors and chord progressions and all that. You tink.
This is
tink,
why
tink,
I have
tink.
the and this is why I have the utmost respect for Knife Wonder, man, because he keeps it real, man. He keeps it real. He tells it like it is, man. He keeps it real. He keeps it real, man, for real.
Saying that's playing and gonna get on me for going through this record and piecing together a chord progression.
Exactly.
Man, get out of here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tink producers. They get no love on Back to the Boom Bap.
Tink, producer. I like it. I like it. I like it though.
But nah, for real though, there are 3 reasons why sampling is hard.
Here we go.
And before I give you those reasons, let me make this clear. I said that sampling is hard, and not that it's better than playing live instruments. People who can play live instruments well are phenomenal.
Now that's lit. Yeah, glad he cleared that up as well too. Nothing wrong with playing live instruments. That is always talent right there. Live instrument playing, not live instrument sample it from stock. Live instrument playing, like you actually playing drums, you actually playing keyboard, you actually training at that, and all of that will always be superior. I don't care. I will say that's superior. I will bow to anybody if my sample sounds better than their live I don't care if my beat I made sound better than the live drum or anything. I'm not gonna disrespect that, man. You doing better than me. I'm gonna say that right now. So I will say a live percussionist, a classic trained percussionist, keyboard anybody is always gonna be better than me, no matter how good my music's gonna sound. I don't care. You can be the best. You can be an okay player, but you're doing your thing, man. I'm gonna give you your props regardless.
How could I hate on live instruments when that gave birth to sampling?
Exactly.
The people who are dope at sampling do make better music than those who make whack beats with their little VSTs.
Exactly.
And I don't care if you use your grandma's pots and pans to make beats. Just make some heat.
Exactly.
But the 3 reasons are: it ain't broke, but we still gotta fix it.
Yup.
You have to figure out how to make songs your own.
True.
And you can't sample whatever you want to.
But to take a song,
That is all facts. Let me go. Let's break down with that. Yeah, of course, it ain't broke, fix it. That's true. What's the third one? You have to figure out how to make the sounds. Yeah, that's another thing. That is another thing about sampling, though. Like even if it's like it's a loop. Make it unique in a way. Make it unique in a way. Cut it a little bit. Even with that's why, and I always say, like, Griselda stuff, the no drum loop and all that seems like it easy, but it's still kind of hard because you guys still making your own, make it not sound too like it. Another thing is shit like that was only working the underground hip hop scene as well too. Mainstream is not cool. Mainstream may accept it, depends on how it sound and everything, but that's the other thing. If you gotta wonder if the mainstream will accept it as well too. That's another thing as well too. Or mainstream don't sound too close to another person's production. That's the other thing. Like, even if you make it, you flip it on your own, make sure it don't sound too close to that. Like, for example, Special Delivery sound close to the Lil Wayne joint. What's the Lil Wayne joint with Swizz Beatz? Lil Wayne, Swizz Beatz. What that joint called? Uproar, yeah, stuff like that. Not knocking Swizz Beatz or anything though. It brought me back to some Harlem Shaking music, but still, Swizz Beatz can get away with it, but not many people will get away with it as well too. And the other thing is, we say you can't sample wherever you want to sample. That is facts right there. It's gotta sound good. You may like this. You may like the sound. You may like the sound. You may like how it goes. You may think is out of this world, but the only thing is you gotta make it sound good. You can't just shit in a platter. You can and throw salt on that and serve it to taste good. It's still gonna be shit. I'm trying my best to the metaphor, but anyway, you get some more, Jeff.
Can't sample whatever you want to.
but to take a song that's 7 minutes, 8 minutes long by Ahmad Jamal named Swahili Land and turn that into Stakes is High, and for JD to use that part at the end of the song and turn it something beautiful, I don't think the previous generation would never understand that.
So
That's
first,
the thing, yes.
it ain't broke, but we
So
still
you
gotta
break
fix
it down
it.
good.
What do I mean by that? Well, here's the thing. Let's say you're sampling an R&B song. The original musicians on the song that made that music didn't have an easy job.
Facts.
But they came up with the melody, wrote some lyrics, and then it was time to record it.
Alright, hold on.
So
Hold on a second. I'll be right back. I've been wanting to see this. This is Dark Master. I wanted to see. That's why I had it on standby. Hold on. I'm back. I'm trying. I had to speed it out a little bit, but anyway, let's go.
When you sample that song, what you're actually doing is remixing the song.
Exactly.
A song is a musical arrangement. But even if you don't chop up the sample, you still have to rearrange it.
Exactly.
And by the way, before I go on, if you're getting value from this video so far, click on the like button. That really helps me out. R&B songs didn't typically put a major emphasis on bass and drums, but rap songs do. So when you're sampling, you're essentially mixing your tracks so the bass is much deeper, and you're gonna EQ the drums so they smack and thump harder.
Yup,
This is a task that we start doing as producers before the mixing engineer even touches it. Otherwise, what's the point of using it? If you don't make any changes to the song, you might as well be a DJ playing the song at a party.
Exactly. Exactly. That's another thing. Like I said, when it comes loose, I like to try to wait at my bass. Now the only thing I'm still like a little trying to learn more about is adding bass lines. Like I'm still like I feel like I lack in there some of the beats I made a little bit is like adding bass line. What I do is not the right bass line, but something like sound close to the bass line I want or not. But yeah, but it's all about adding bass line, making the drum kick a little better as well too.
But to be honest with you, if you playing the keyboard and you really can't play, if you just right, any cat will tell you it's harder to take a record and make it your own.
The second reason is you have to figure out how to make the song your own.
Yep.
As you're sonically crafting a track, you'll also have to think about how you'll be designing it from a technical or artistic standpoint. Or, if the song is obscure, it might work to just use a loop.
Yep.
Or, if it's a popular track, you might want to chop it up to bits and experiment with it.
Yep.
Either way, similar to playing an instrument, proficiency with sampling is based on some level of natural talent combined with tons of practice.
Yep.
And a lot of cats won't sample because you gotta do your record history, you gotta understand producers of the 70s, you gotta understand who you sample and who you don't. It's a lot of mental homework that you
That
have.
too, like you got I like if for those who's artist producer, who sample is a good tool to use as well too. If you you're curious about a song right there, you want to know if anybody else sampled it, definitely look up who sampled. Majority of the time they'll tell you other rappers or other artists, not just artists in general, but rappers, R&B singer, dance music artists as well too. They'll tell you who sampled it.
Have to do when it comes to shopping for records. And so, a lot of cats won't do it, man, because it's hard. It's hard. Sampling is hard.
The third reason is you can't sample anything that you want to. Well, you can, but if you're going to put it out commercially, you have to get permission.
That's true.
You don't want to get sued.
Oh, that's what you mean by that. Facts. And that's what I always say. Shout out to TrackLib, who helps you with that. Too. But I gotta if something like something I did over YouTube or a record, I'm gonna have to figure out a way how to get that license as well too. If I make it mainstream. If not, it's gonna be an underground shit only.
And you want to at least get to share your publishing with the original songwriters and not lose all of it.
Right.
Or you could put out the song or album for free. But if it indirectly leads to revenue for you, then you might still be taking a risk. The other possible solution is to chop the sample up real fine and hope no one detects it. But that kind of sucks though.
No.
Because even if no one knows, the original artist will make no money for their hard work.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't make sure the artists get their cut as well too. It's become a major success definitely though. If you want to be a commercial, definitely do that. Don't short out the artists. I mean, that ain't cool.
And also, you're taking a risk because you might get found out.
Exactly.
Some great music has come out of sampling.
Exactly.
And I love the sample, but when it comes to dealing with the business aspect of it every time, that's gotta be a hassle.
It is.
That's why I love TrackLib. They have producer curated collections from greats like Just Blaze and Eric Sermon, and you can sort by genre, year, BPM, etc. They make it easy and affordable to clear samples, and they're even adding more features to help you see the vision of your beat before you make it. They already have a looping feature, but now they also have a beats player that has 4 different subgenre modes that can play the sample in 1, 2, 4, and 8-bar loops. So click the link in the description below to get started with a free 30-day trial and 15 credits for songs to sample. But with these 3 reasons, my main goal was to get people to put some respect on sampling's name.
Yes.
Some people think that it's easy or that it's uncreative, and I wanted to dispel both of those myths. But if you'd like more context about what inspired this video, click or tap the screen to watch my video called Knife Wonder on why many producers don't sample. Some of the clips from this video come from that video, but I just think that Knife dropped a lot of wisdom in that video despite it being so long ago. Thank you for watching.
You know what?
And
I'm gonna watch that real quick. I got a little bit of time. I'm gonna watch it real quick.
In order for you to chop a sample, you must understand chord progression. I would challenge any old group, member of any group, to say that myself, Pete Rock, DJ Premier, Pharrell, Kanye, Just Blaze, we don't know how to create. I would like for them to sit down and take Today by Tom Scott and turn it into their Reminisce Over You. I would like to see them do that and make it make sense and understand how to filter bass lines and stuff like that and tell a singer to sing over that. I would like them to, I don't think people really understand by just looking at hip hop on TV, this is not creative. A lot of stuff that's not on TV is really not creative. But I would like for them to really get and understand what we do as hip hop.
Exactly. Like folks get like the wrong idea just by, cause you're looking from the other side, the outside in. If you look at the inside out, even the trap beats that's out right now, the new era hop out. I'm gonna tell you from experience, that shit hard as well too. Cause I try to make some trap hip hop. I thought it'd be some easy one. Trying to get that shit together is not as easy as well either. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Don't get the idea that these rappers are rapping off a simple ass beat. It may sound simple to you, but creating this shit ain't simple at all. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's not simple. I mean, maybe unless you a super beast producer, that shit is not simple. I mean, unless you like really talented and trained, it's not simple. You got a lot of work you got to put into it. There's a lot of arranging, a lot of keeping it in sync, etc. Keeping it consistent as well too is the other thing. Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, and so like sometimes I be feeling like some of the beats I made at times can come off easy, but it was a hassle to try and come off it. But after I make, I'm like, oh shit! And once you get the hang of it, it's gonna come out like it's gonna come natural to you. But it's not easy. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
And then come back and say, you know what? Hey, that DJing shit is hard. But to take a song that's 7 minutes, 8 minutes long by Ahmad Jamal named Swahili Land and turn that into Stakes is High, and for JD to use that part at the end of the song and turn it into something beautiful, I don't think the previous generation would never understand it. Just like Big Band didn't understand when jazz came along. They just won't understand. It's just not that music, and that's cool.
Right.
And to be honest with you, a lot of the reasons why a lot of cats won't sample, they like to use the whole publishing bit and say, I want all my publishing. That's fair. I understand that. But to be honest with you, if you playing the keyboard and you really can't play, if you just, like, any cat will tell you, it's harder to take a record and make it your own. Which means I've sampled so many groups. I done chopped up so many records. But the thing about it is, cats will know if it's me.
Right.
If I did the beat. Because I use the sample the way the other producers don't use it. Same with Just Blaze. And some records I listen to, I skip it off. I say, man, that's a Just Blaze sample. I can't use that. Because it sounds like Just.
Right. So
that's hard. That's a hard thing to pull off. And a lot of cats, you know, I was having a conversation with Rook from Justice League from Atlanta, who did to me, other than the Exhibit C, Maybach Music 2 and Maybach Music 3 is some of the most incredible beats I've ever heard, period. And so I did a beat for one of their artists by the name of Laws, a joint I did called Shining, and I was playing it for him on the joint, right? And he was like, just staring at me like, I'm like, what's the problem? He like, man, you chop, like, you can chop samples, like, that's hard to do. Chopping a sample and making the sample make sense for your layman to understand.
Right.
And they really can't hear the chop until, you know, you take all the drums and stuff out and like, man, you dice that joint up to bits. Like, that's hard, you know, that's hard to do. And a lot of cats won't sample because you gotta do your record history, you gotta understand producers of the 70s, you gotta understand who you sample and who you don't. It's a lot of mental homework that you have to do when it comes to shopping for records. And so, you know, a lot of cats won't do it, man, because it's hard. It's hard, exactly.
Yeah, man. Whew. He dropped some gems right there, man. This is why I respect the hell out of Knife Wonder, man. He be dropping some gem. He drops some knowledge. That's why he's the best. That's why he's professor at Duke at times with music and all of that, man. Like, he broke down everything, and I agree 100% of everything he said. There's no disagreement. You're not getting a disagreement on me. You ain't gonna get a disagreement on me anyway with anything with music production, because I'm still in the making right now. Because for real, because I will listen. But yeah, facts. It's not easy. If you're looking for the outside in, you're gonna think it sounds easy. Like whether it's the hip, well, this stuff he do, like the sample and all that, or if it's trap beats, treble 2-step beats, you know what I'm saying, or even the no drum loose samples that you hear on like Griselda or a lot of underground artists and stuff like that. It's not, that shit ain't easy either. Cause I tried it with this one Japanese soul joint and everything. Why his loop sounds good, but putting it together and making it sound seamless, because you also gotta make it so it sounds seamless, not boxy or a delay or not. I mean, not delay, but like out of sync or uprut or nothing, anything like that. It's hard. So yeah, don't be judged. Don't judge anything just from the outside, looking outside in. Look from the inside out, and then you're gonna understand what a lot of these producers go through, as well as artists in general, musicians in general, but definitely producers, what they go through. You know what I'm saying? This it's not easy unless you it's gonna look easy to you if you're not into music production and all that. But when you get in production, you gonna say things. Oh, shit, I can do this. Once you get into it, that shit gonna you probably be thinking, one, that shit's hard, or you thought it sound good and then it sound good in your head, but when you put it on the tablet or your laptop, whatever, it doesn't come out the way you had it in your head. Cause that shit ain't easy. You know what I mean? It's a lot of digging in, a lot of practice as well too. But other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I may be longer than it's supposed to be. Hit your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.